Hi, family. This is Mo with Moya Body Care and Colon Hydrotherapy. And I am your favorite colon hydrotherapist that practices the art of internal detoxification through the use of colon hydrotherapy, herbs, and natural living. And today's video, I wanted to go over my day today with my clients and give you an idea of um, the beauty that happens with the clients that come in to see me. So I'm going to go over the type of clients that came in. I'm going to start from my last client and then move up to my first client of the day. So my last client just walked out. He is a 62-year-old man, black male, who um, he's been a client of mine for years, but then he disappeared for a while, as people do. You know, they move, they disappear, they get new jobs or whatever it may be, and he came back. And actually, he had moved for a second, then he came back, but I didn't know his backstory, and for whatever reason, today he just was wanting to share his backstory with me, and he explained that he was homeless for a good part of his life, lived on Skid Row for years. He said there were months where he was doing crack, high as a kite. He said there were months where he didn't take a shower and he was as black as my shirt. And I'm looking at him and he's just telling me all the things that he's gone through. And he's sitting on my table receiving a colonic from a 43-year-old woman who has no experience with Skid Row at all. Like, I don't know that lifestyle. I don't know anything about crack cocaine. I know what it did to our community, but me personally, I've never had to deal with any of that. And I'm looking at him and I'm just completely baffled. And what I said to him was, after he told me his story, oh, and he's sober for 33 years. After he told me this story, I looked him in his eyes and I said, King, I am so grateful you started listening to Spirit. I'm so grateful you're here. You know, that man started crying and I started crying and we're in there crying. Now this is all going down during a colonic. Let me just tell you. And I'm just so blown away by his story. The client before him, young man, I think he was in his 30s. I don't remember exactly how old he was. Very tall, used to be a basketball player, and now he has shifted into, entrepreneurship, and he has a nonprofit, and, he's back and forth out the country doing things for children. I mean, just amazing people. And he had a crazy, insane story on the reasons why he left basketball. And it wasn't because of money. It wasn't because he didn't have a contract. It was moral reasons. I looked at him and I was like, King, I adore you. I stand by you 110%. And he's on my table receiving a colonic. The client before him was a Caucasian woman in her late 30s, if I'm not mistaken. So like 38, 39, maybe 40. She is a freelancer and she's working with a very well-known woman. I'm going to leave her name out of it, but she's a freelancer. She does a lot of work for her. And we had an amazing conversation about morals, about boundaries, about speaking from your throat chakra and what that looks like, and why women are not often encouraged to speak their truth. And this is all during a colonic, right? The client before her was an elder. He is from, don't get me lying. He's not from the States. He's from Uruguay, I think. Uruguay. That's where he's from. Lovely. When I tell you lovely complexion, oh my God, if I had the audacity, I would probably try to talk to this older man. You guys know I love silverbacks. I love older men. My partner is 55 and I love him to death. Okay, let me just tell you, silverbacks is my thing. And if I had the audacity, I probably would say something to this client, but I don't, because I don't date my clients and I'm professional and I stay professional. But we had the most rich conversation about simplicity. And the question that I asked him was, if I'm not mistaken, the question was something around, if you could talk to your younger self, if you could give your younger self a bit of advice, what would that be? And he said, simplicity. Keep everything simple. He said, when you're young, you're trying to figure stuff out. You're trying to do things. You're trying to move this, do that. You're trying to make money. You're trying to, get this girl and, have as many girls as you want. And he was like, Mo, let me tell you. He was like, I was out there. I was out there. And he was like, I was married and I was out there. But he said, now, after all that is out of my system, he said, I really, really wish that I had a man to highlight the destructive behaviors and shift those, or help me to shift those behaviors. And he said, part of his existence now is to reach out to other young men and show them that there's a better way. And this is all during a colonic. This is all during a colonic. And I'm sitting there and I'm just so grateful that all these different people are able to have a conversation with me, and I'm able to flip-flop and actually have a conversation with different types of people all over the world, different incomes, different nationalities, different religions, different everything, but I'm able to communicate with them on a very simplistic level and have a very rich conversation. When I tell you I am so filled to the rim today with consistent affirmation that I'm on the right track. Because in order for these clients to share what they know, they have to be comfortable with me. They have to be comfortable with the surroundings that I created. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Do you know how many people do not connect with other people just from judgment? Just because they look a certain way, just because they sound a certain way, or just because they speak a different language, there will be no communication between those two people. I'm so grateful that I don't operate on that paradigm or that frequency. And I'm so grateful that my parents taught me to not be judgmental, but to have an open heart and listen first. I don't always have to be right. Even in my own office, I don't fight to be the head of the conversation. I just listen and I take it in and I'm grateful. And then if there's a dialogue that can happen, I'm more than willing to dialogue. But if it doesn't happen, like the exchange still is such a rich exchange. Yeah. I just want to share that with you. And just as you're moving through your week, today is Tuesday. As you're moving through your week, I would love to challenge you to see people in a different light. Try to see people without judging them. Try to see people without coming up with a conclusion. Communicate with people without the idea that you're going to end the sentence, complete the sentence, or while that other person is talking, you're trying to figure out what you're going to respond with. I want to challenge you to just simply listen and to stay present and to keep it simple. And if you can share something with that individual that will make them smile, I want to challenge you to do that so that you leave the conversation better than what you walked in with. And that other client, or, you know, in my case, it'll be a client, but, you know, anybody that you speak to, they leave you with a lighter heart. I'm just saying, try it. Try it on, see if it fits, see if you like that space, because I feel so good here. It feels like I don't know, it just feels good. It just, I'm so grateful. So grateful. I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful. So I just want to share that, and just share that conversations can change people. You can change people. You can change yourself just by having a simple conversation. So with that, I leave you to it. Go practice it and let me know how it works out for you. Mwah. I appreciate you greatly. And if you want to contact me, my phone number is 562-682-0818. And my website is Moya, MOYA, bodycare.com. And again, I'm just so appreciative. I don't know what else to say, literally. So I'm going to go ahead and get off because I feel myself rambling. Until then, be safe, be happy, be whole, be good to each other.